I'm here in Ethiopia. I started in 1974. I came under the Canadian government to help with a famine. When I got over here, a revolution was starting, and I had come to be a famine worker. While we were doing that, just at the very beginning, the head of World Vision found out that I had certain shots that the other Americans didn't have. I was sent into an area that I knew was by Debat. I couldn't come back to the country for many years because it was inaccessible to an American to come back. In 2008, I came back hoping to find where I was and do something significant to help the people. We went to the surrounding villages, Debat, the next one was Wekin, and then Debark. When we got there, we found out where I'd lived, which was interesting that even to this day, 40 years later, the place that I lived still stands.
እህታችን በ65 ዓመተ ምህረት ሰማላ አይደል ወደም በ65 ዓመተ ምህረት እዚህ ነበረች ለእርዳታ
A lot of this is added. When the military came in, they added, so it was hard to figure out where I was, but I'm pretty sure this was the building. When I looked out the window, I could see Wekin Mountain. And when I came back here the very first time in 2008, this was a military compound. I came up to the door, the fellow said, I'm sorry, it's military, you can't come in. So I asked him if he would bring his superior. Please, 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 can I come in? Finally, the fifth guy came to the door, and I had told already the fellow before that I was here during the Dirk. So the next fellow who came out, very much better dressed man, came and he said, you were here during the Dirk? And I said, yes, I was here during the Dirk. What did you do? There was a school that I think was down the way here that was just an open mud building where we taught the children. I helped to manage the cooking and the ill missionary who was here. And his big questions of me were, what did you do when you left? And I said, well, I was trying to recollect, it had been 34 years ago. I said, well, I left my sleeping bag. I gave my sleeping bag away. I gave my books away. And I was trying to think, I gave my clothes away. And finally I said, well, I gave my I think I had a pen, maybe 2 pens, and all my pencils away. His next question of me was, who did you give the pencils to? Right before I left, I handed all my pencils to the children in the school. And here this very stern, stiff person lit up. He said, he got a tear in his eye. He was like, I was one of those children who gave a pencil to. He said, you kept me in school. He said, we will have a celebration. So my daughter and I and ballet, we came in, we had coffee ceremony, we took photos with everybody. The lesson of this, the reason I so want people to hear this, a pencil, a single used pencil, kept a fellow in school. If you didn't have a pencil or pen, you had to work in the fields and every day just pull weeds, every day pull weeds, every day pull weeds. But if you had a pencil, you could continue your education. And here he had risen to the top of the military in this area to supervise things. And he said, whatever I can do to help you with what you're going to do here, because I had said I wanted to come back and make a positive difference in this area. He said, I will do anything I can do to help you at that point. I've traveled the world. I've taught on every continent. I've been looking for a place that I thought was worthy to invest the rest of my life, to leave a legacy, something significant behind. At a point in time, I heard from God when I was asking him, what is the point of life? What am I trying to do here? And I heard as clear as almost anything I've ever heard, be full and hang around. The first part is the most important part, to be full. To be full of what? I think to be full of Jesus. Because if you're full of Jesus, then you're full of love and joy and peace and patience and gentleness and kindness and faithfulness and self-control. And life is worth living. And I want to share that with people everywhere, not only in Wekin, but everywhere. I wanted to hang around somewhere, and I wanted to hang around somewhere where it could make a big difference. And my memory of being in Ethiopia was that I knew I could make a big difference, and that's where I wanted to give my money. And that's where I want to give my time. My thought is, for 20 years, I want to do everything I can in one village, to do it over and over in the same village so that those people become self-sufficient and can help their neighboring communities. What I saw with this village is they will. When they become self-sufficient, it's not just going to be their own people they're going to take care of. They're going to take care of the villages around them because they care for people who have less than they do. I've been hunting for groups of people to help us because it's very difficult. We raise funds in America, we collect things to bring over here, but to have somebody on the ground that can manage these things, that is overseeing them to make sure everything gets to the people and that if they have needs, we can meet them, has been extremely difficult. We were delighted to run into a group called New Covenant Foundation, and they have got the same mission that we do.
In this area, you can't go with empty hand. So you have to go with a holistic approach. So having important project, water project, latrine project, this area needs transformation. Gospel by itself transforms people, but if you include these projects, it will speed up the transformation of the area. We need breakthrough. I hope you observed how poor the people are, how needy they are, and so on. With the gospel and supporting the people with these basic needs, we can speed up the transformation.
We're just on a little tour to see the latrines that are in process. We brought with the technical advisor from Gondar so that he could oversee the project and make sure that it's being done correctly. It's been funded through New Covenant. There were 3 latrines that are strategically located so that people will use them. They haven't used them. And we also encourage the people that it's important that when these are built, that they spread the word, that this is what you do now. Now you use the latrines. We had a little discussion in the process about the water that isn't working, so immediately we want to get water going. Get whatever they need, get this thing repaired so that they are no longer buying outrageously expensive water.
This pump pumps the water from this well to that mountain and the other mountain.
Oh.
Then after it reaches there, it gets its water reservoir. From that water reservoir, it goes to the town. Yeah, deep well and very good water.
Yes.
It's clean water.
Yes.
So they only need to buy new pump. What we discussed is they will contribute up to 50,000 birr from the community, and it takes us about 350 birr. They told us. I don't know. We'll find that one. Then we promise them we'll be fixing it in 3 months of time if they work hard with the community, because we don't want to hand over this pump as a kind of gift and so on. This is common participation. They have to share, we have to take our part, and so on. So they need it badly.
We have a lot of things that are all mixed up. This is kind of like Christmas where we open it up and go, oh yeah, we had all this. We have well over 10,000 pens. I'm guessing probably 12,000. I don't know the exact number because people kept donating them in the end. Yeah, one person was sitting with me and said, you know, what can I give you? And I said, well, the first thing we want to bring is pens. Most important thing we bring is pens. These are the finest math books you can get. And Lee Peterson, who went with us on a previous trip, gave us the entire set. A lot of stuff. The microscopes we're going to give right off the bat. None of the high schools around have a microscope, and a lot of these children, their aspirations are to become a doctor. Well, you can't function if you don't know how to use a microscope. So one microscope per high school can teach them how you use a microscope. They were donated by high schools in the US that aren't even using them anymore. They were going to be tossed. And with this intent we have to recycle and reuse, this is a great place to recycle and reuse. One of the things that I was really grateful for, and it arrived safely, are full sets of paint. Paint is really hard for them to get. You're going to see when you get to the village. There's not much pretty to look at. And one of the atelier donated all the painting supplies, all the paint brushes. I'm so grateful. Those people were so generous. I can't wait to see the expressions on the people, particularly one fellow, when he sees all the paint that's coming. I think he's going to be shocked. In helping the community. So yeah. We're developing more plans. You know, your committee is meeting with our committee, so that we can get more done with two committees because we are so far away.
First, Your Excellency, Mrs. Anirai, Your Excellency, Mr. Wainerai, and their partners, we would like to say welcome to all of you. Then we would like to thank you heartily for the effort you made to construct the fence of Wekin General Secondary School based on the promise that you had made earlier.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Thank you. I'm a Sikanalo. Beautiful. Yes. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Very good. I have spent 6 years trying to find an organization to help through the United States to Ethiopia. Many hours on the telephone.
Yeah.
And finally found the New Covenant Foundation so that we can make this much more efficient.
ላለፉት 6 ዓመት ሙሉ ለወቅን የማደርገውን ነገር እንዳደርግ ምን አይነት ድርጅት ይሆን የማገኘው እያልኩ ማልደውልም with the support of Sunny family wine we have sent these church planters. They have started their work and now they are becoming part of the people because they have been learning their culture, their language and the way people communicate and so on. Today is an amazing day. We introduced them breakthrough for them because they are very much accepted by the community. The community are getting the favor of Sunny to the church planters. So I would say today is a kind of turning point for us and I hope they will use this momentum to go to the unreached area.
Professional paintbrushes.
ፕሮፌሽናል ናቸው። ይሄ ታዋቂ ስዕል ሳዮች የሚጠቀሙ
The biggest one.
So this is the most unreached area. About 99% of the people are not born again, and it's the most difficult place, I would say, on earth, not only in Ethiopia, because when they hear about the gospel and so on, they are totally against it. We want to reach this area in more strategic ways because what we are doing now is just to start, but the work is huge.
They have actually technological things, they've got chemicals. This place had nothing the last time we were here, so in 2 years they've made huge progress.
I'll introduce myself. I am a boy. My name is Geta Charles. My father's name is Adsadan. My mother's name is Saunet Shetty. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. I live in Wekin, I country, Ethiopia. My school name is Wekin Elementary School. Great.
Now we are going to introduce the class.
So there's about 10 children that are blind
Around 11 students deaf.
or deaf, cannot hear. And then there are some that are mentally handicapped children. So this is their classroom.
Okay.
My heart, New Covenant's heart, is really primarily to work with the indigenous. We really try to stay away from having a Western influence. So this project is really different. It's really a stretch for us and somewhat of a challenge, but it's been amazing how God has worked through it. Because to tell you the truth, we couldn't have gotten into Wekin or Debark without the influence of Sonny. As I've been talking to Garadu and Pastor Ndali, our regional coordinator up here, being evangelical Christians, they have no door in to these communities that are nearly 100% Orthodox. But Sonny has opened up that door because of her heart for this time period that she's been coming here and just showing her heart of benevolence and giving to the needs of the community of Wekin. It's just opened the door wide. And that, to be honest, has been the best bridge that we could have ever built to this community.
Here we are at our mud hut. This was center point 1, where we started to find out where Wekin is. And the first time he came, he didn't have a barn. He just had the mud hut. And this is where we slept. So we're gonna go in and see Mama, see how everybody is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ah, yes. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Ah, these are the pants that I left him last time, 2 years ago. I was wearing those pants and I was looking for who needed the pants, and it was definitely him. He had 3 pairs of pants on where I saw skin through all of them. And I looked at all the children and I ran in my tent and I changed my pants and I came out and I gave them to him. I said, these are your pants. So, yes. Yes. Good to see you, yes. This is the mud hut. This was where I slept. This is my bed up here. Little things fall down at night. And Mama slept over there on this side. We had our meals here, and all of her children grew up in this hut. After this, I think it was the second trip we came, 2010, they had built the barn. Somebody else wasn't getting any. I'm supposed to only do my right hand.
Sun is for you.
Ah, this one's for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Mama. Oh. Ah, this is what I remember. We're just trying to assemble things. It's always hard because there's not enough, but everything is appreciated and it's usually handed down. So whatever we give, we'll see again next time. Maybe I'm the person who's wearing it this time. If not, their younger sibling. This is always the hard part.
Try those on. Try them on.
Praise be to God.
ሰብል እንዲሰጥ እንባርከዋለን እንለምንሃለን
Amen.
All they have a family.
Yeah.
When we came to this village 2 years ago, we were made aware of this blessed woman who has 2 children, and she has polio. And the only way that she can make a living is by sewing. And that touched my heart because my mother sewed for many years.
ለጥልፍሽ ነው ይሄንን ሁሉ ነገር ያመጣልሽ ጥልፍ መጥለፍ ትችያለሽ
ስለምጠልፍ ስላልነው አዎ ትጠልፋለሽ
And
ይሄ
needles
ሁሉ መርፌዎቹ ናቸው
and the scissors
መቀስ ነው ይሄኛው እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልኝ ብለሽ
and
ተቀበል
the buttons. So now she can make a living by sewing for people.
Be full and hang around. It's less important what your job is, it's less important where you are. It's more important, are you full? And a lot of people will say, I'm not. They tell you they're not full. They're empty. They don't feel loved, they don't feel worthwhile, they're trying really hard to get that. They want somebody else to love them so they feel loved. They want somebody else to tell them they're valuable so they feel valuable. They want to have enough money, they want to have enough power, they want to make a big enough difference that they feel like they are of some value. I believe that you start out with being full. You're full because God's love is a gift. You receive it for free. Jesus died for you, and all you have to do is receive that. It's a total gift, and when you receive the gift and you take it in, you're full of love. And when you're full of love, you want to do things for other people. You're not earning anything. You feel like you want to give it to everybody, everywhere, because you know how empty it felt before you had it. When I got the being full part, now I have the chance to spill out on the world, not just my neighbors, but I have opportunities that I didn't have back when I was 30. Now I'm 60 and I have more resources, and I can make it a bigger pool that I can make a difference for. But even a 5-year-old can be full and hang around. And they hang around their neighbors and they hang around their friends, and it spills over. And we don't want to each be a little cup with 2 drops in it, working really hard to try to spill a little drop over on somebody else. The goal is to just sit there under the love of Jesus and the worth of Jesus and get so full of it. You don't have to work at it. It just dumps into the next level, and everybody gets a taste of it. And now I'm watching 8,000 plus people in Wekin who are getting a taste of God's love and His worth and their dignity and how much He loves them and what they can have because of that. And we see the whole community raising up in a level and raising up in a level. And when they do, they take care of their own, and it spreads out more and more and more. Sometimes you find the poorest of the poor is full. They're full of love, but they don't have a lot of resources to help their neighbor. I'd like to see this spread. The goal of my life is for people to understand that the job of life, what we're here for, is to be full and hang around. It's an absolute gift. God made a way. Jesus died for us, and He gives us the gift of complete, utter, total, unconditional love, something we don't have to earn, something we don't have to deserve. It doesn't matter what you've done. And when you have received that love and you've received that forgiveness, then you can forgive yourself, you can forgive everybody else, you can release all your judgments. It's not your job to judge. If we weren't judging everybody, we wouldn't have all this turmoil. It's God's job to judge. And then what we receive is mercy. We fill up with mercy, we fill up with mercy, we fill up with mercy. And what I hope to do here in Ethiopia is spread that here. I spread it wherever I go, because to me it's life-giving. We want to give life to people, and this is the stuff. Yes, water, we want to give water, and we want to teach cleanliness. But the most important thing you get in your life is to be full. And that's what I would encourage you. Start out with being full. And when you're full, you want to give. It's out of your heart. It's like You get joy every time you give, particularly to somebody who can't give anything back to you.
Special present from me to you. And I love you. And I'm gonna give you a hug so that you can run and have Welcome.
Part of why I wanted to give to Wekin, they couldn't give me anything. Now I was wrong. They gave me a plot of land, and it just touches my heart that they wanted to let me know that I'm a part of them, that I belong there. There's a piece of my heart that sits in Wekin, and it's gonna have a little house on it where people can go and pray. And they gave me what they had. I had often thought about what can these people even do to make money? They had dirt. So what did they give me? They gave me what they had, a plot of dirt. And I'm thrilled with that plot of dirt because they were becoming full. They wanted to give back something, and that's what they had.
So I just got a Facebook message from Eric Larson, who's with New Covenant, and I'm going to show it to Sunny right now. Okay?
Gary asked Chairman Ayeno in Wekin to give you a plot of land because you care so much for Wekin and you should be considered a resident. Ayeno said he would give you a small piece of land. You could build a small house on it to stay in when you visit. It could be a prayer house church, something to pray about. Holy buckets, is that the coolest thing ever? Just the coolest thing ever. I've got a home. I've got a piece of land coming. I just have to buy it. It's so cool. Just what I wanted. Yes. Yes.